A Lit in 10 discussion with Lisa M. Kendrick. This is On Nuclear Disarmament by Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan's gift for explaining science to the general public helped make him one of the most famous scientists of his time. The astronomer is best known for writing and narrating a television series about astronomy called Cosmos. It was watched by 400 million viewers. Sagan promoted the idea that even a limited nuclear war would devastate life on Earth and cause global temperatures to plummet. In 1988, Carl Sagan delivered On Nuclear Disarmament in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, to mark the 125th anniversary of a famous Civil War battle. At the time of the speech, the United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a rivalry known as the Cold War. According to some military strategists, these weapons prevented direct conflict because each side knew that it would be destroyed in a counterattack. In persuasive writing, rhetorical devices can make the writer's ideas more compelling. One example is repetition, the use of the word, phrase, or sentence more than once for emphasis, and parallelism, the use of similar grammatical construction to express related ideas. It helps to also use logic, such as inductive reasoning. This provides examples and evidence to support a conclusion. Sagan begins by presenting statistics about the Battle of Gettysburg, which took place in 1863. He's citing these statistics to show the first hint of what technology bent to the purposes of war might be capable. Sagan points out that at Gettysburg, 51,000 people were killed, a few hundred artillery pieces with a range of a few miles were used, and the most powerful artillery held only 20 pounds of TNT. By lines 32 to 35, Sagan is citing evidence that helps the reader contrast the enormous destructive power of thermonuclear weapons with that of the less destructive weapons used at Gettysburg, lines 1 through 16, and during World War II, lines 17 to 25. He's using parallelism to emphasize that each technological advance increased the explosive power of weapons 1,000 times. In lines 39 to 74, Sagan believes that we have made a fool's bargain by accepting the theory that nuclear weapons will ensure our society. He thinks there's ample historical evidence that an accidental nuclear war could happen, a war that would destroy the whole planet. Nuclear war will not only kill millions of people, but most of the victims will be civilians, not soldiers, from line 56. The repetition of the phrase "a few" in lines 21, 24, and 28 emphasizes how the force of weapons has grown and unifies these statistics. The repetition of the words 1,000 and 1,000,000,000 in lines 31 to 38 creates a rhythm that further reinforces how the growth of destructive weapons is out of control. Additionally, note his use of strong words like annihilate, malice, and carnage. Sagan suggests the US and the Soviet Union became hostile because each side became more obsessed with malfactions, line 87, or acts of wrongdoing committed by the other. Each side threatened to launch deadly attacks against the other in response to these acts. Sagan draws the conclusion that nations can no longer gain from competition and conflict. We must all learn to cooperate or we will perish together, lines 114. As good persuasive authors do, Sagan suggests a solution by using the example of the reconciliation of Civil War veterans to show how adversaries should unite based on their common humanity. Sagan has directed his argument into three assertions. 1. Technology has increased the killing capacity of weapons by billions. 2. People make mistakes. And 3. Casualties would spread far beyond combatants. In lines 106 to 114, Sagan argues that society's ever-expanding horizon of identification suggests we will evolve to the point where humans identify with the whole planet and the species, unless we destroy ourselves first. Once we have expanded our unit of identification to include the whole species, we will begin to realize that one nation cannot win at the expense of another, and that we now can only rise or fall together. Thanks for listening. Nothing enhances your cognitive abilities, increases your vocabulary, or expands your horizons more than reading. I hope you will continue your journey with my other videos in this Lit in 10 discussion series.